There's nothing I need to get in this league that I don't already have. Everything else for me is just like icing on the cake. There's nothing I'm chasing or feel like I need to end my career on.
Lights, camera, action. It's CC TitleTown. It's Thursday night, March 7th. We got our Blue Moon beers. Having a good time. Cam, how you doing today?
I'm great, man. Doing awesome. Yeah. And for those of you that didn't know, that was a quote from LeBron James on February 7th.
Not too long ago. That's a month from today.
A month, and exactly a month. So
exactly a month.
Yeah.
Hey,
and within that month, we have seen the Lakers crumble. L.A. has fallen, everybody.
Yes, L.A. seems like officially hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
It's crazy how so much can change in a month and how LeBron and the Lakers can go from playoff mode being activated to minute restrictions being activated.
Man.
But
fresh news that just dropped today.
Exactly, yes. He'll now be on a minute restriction.
Fresh news.
But that's okay, because luckily today our audience will be able to hear our opinion, our take on the Los Angeles Lakers and how their season has came to the point it is, essentially.
Yeah. That's been the talk of the media. And so, yeah, you guys are going to get our take today.
You're damn right.
So, Chris, I got to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers are all but eliminated from the playoffs.
Right.
What went wrong?
I think that is a huge question. I think a lot of things went wrong. And I've been on edge. I've been thinking about it all day. Like I told you earlier, I am like halfway sympathetic to LeBron, halfway like, but I shouldn't be because he put himself in this situation. It's not just his fault that the Lakers are struggling. A lot of it does come back, in my opinion, to his injury.
Yeah.
I think that before the injury happened and they were sitting fourth in the West, although I think that 4th seed deceiving, and I'll tell you why later. They were sitting fourth in the West, and then he goes down with the injury. He misses 17 games in a crucial stretch, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the worst time for him to get injured, but obviously not the best time.
Yeah.
And
it's never a good time for LeBron to be hurt, for this Lakers team especially.
Well, yeah, now looking in hindsight, you know,
also,
although the way they played after the injury brought me back down to reality and made me think like, okay, were they really going to make a good run? Were they really going to fight through the West? Were they really going to push them into a deep playoff run? I don't think so.
It's hard to say.
You know, yeah. Looking at how they're playing now.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that go into how they're playing now. It's not just injuries. But I think that was the start of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think obviously the injury to LeBron and the injuries to other players on the team too.
Right.
You know, Rondo was down. Lonzo Ball, who many people have criticized, you know, only because he was the number 2 pick in the draft. I think that's the only reason he's gotten the criticism he's gotten. But his defense
was dearly missed.
Was a big loss to that team when he went down.
Right.
And now they're near the bottom of the league in defense since he's been out.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, just, you know, all the injuries that they've had. I don't think that these players really mesh well with LeBron's style of play.
Yeah.
You know, most of the teams,
none of them can shoot the ball.
Exactly.
LeBron needs 3 of them on the court.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him because he's, like I said, he causes that much attention to himself in the basketball game.
Yeah.
That to have those shooters is what he needs.
Right. That's those are the teams that have been successful with LeBron.
Right.
You know, he's had 2 or 3 shooters on the outside, and he drives and he kicks it to him.
Right.
He finds the open guy, and they hit the shot.
Right.
But, you know, that's not really happening with this team now.
No, I completely agree.
But I do want to point out a very important stat when it comes to LeBron.
Okay, let's hear it.
The Lakers are 21-25 now when LeBron plays.
Right.
So we can't say that it's just because of his injury.
Right.
That they are where they are. That's just the facts.
Right.
21-25 with him. That's the facts.
Right. And they're what, 30 and 34 right now?
Yeah. Yep.
Right. And they were 6-11 during the span of his injury.
Mm-hmm.
No, and I completely agree. I think that there's a lot more to it than LeBron's injury. And like I said, for them to, because we've heard, both of us have heard that people say, well, they were fourth in the West before he got hurt. Well, yeah, they were fourth in the West, but it was a 2-game difference between the 4th and the 9th seed at the time before he got injured. Mm-hmm. So that's a very deceiving, stat. Like,
right.
2 games ahead of 5 other teams. Mm-hmm. So they could have easily dropped with LeBron in there out of the playoffs, just like they did, without him.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah, there's a multitude of things that have gone wrong with this team, but you can't really pin it on just one thing. When people, a lot of LeBron fans will bring up, oh well, they would be in the playoffs if he wasn't hurt. Hold on, just pump the brakes real quick.
Right.
Let's take a look at the facts.
Exactly.
And what it is.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think that the team as a whole, they had a chance. I think the team tried to buy into LeBron in the beginning of the season, and they wanted, like Rondo's on a 1-year deal. Yeah. He didn't come here to lose. He came here to get a contract next year.
Right, exactly.
Playing with LeBron, expecting to make a deep playoff run. Mm-hmm. JaVale McGee, same situation. He's kind of like, essentially on the same thing. A 1-year deal, looking to make, a small term deal with another team.
Right, yeah.
And it's not working out in their favor. And
honestly, the whole trade deadline issues with the young players, it's like after the trade deadline, those guys pretty much quit.
I think that to me is one of the biggest things and reasons why the season has unfolded the way it has.
Yeah.
Ever since that has even came up about all of those young players having a potential chance to being traded, messed up the whole chemistry. On not that the Lakers had the best chemistry ever, but whatever chemistry they did have was out the window.
Yep, it was.
And I don't blame the other team.
Yeah. Because
I do think Magic Johnson is the head honcho with the Lakers. Mm-hmm. He is, running basketball operations, although he's taking in consideration what LeBron needs and wants. Mm-hmm. So I don't think LeBron didn't have his hands in that situation.
Oh, I think he absolutely did. He's basically assistant GM now at this point in his career to any team that he's on.
Exactly. So like, for that trade to not go through, and then for LeBron to have to go into that locker room, or Magic show his fate, everybody in the locker room knew what was going on.
Yeah.
You mean they can't sit there and act like it wasn't happening. Mm-hmm. And so I don't blame them for. None of them were coming out, publicly and saying they're pissed off, or, I don't know. Sure, you'd like to say well, they're pros, they should understand, but like for him to want to, for the Lakers organization to want to trade every young prospect that they have, it's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, because you don't know what you got yet.
Right.
You don't know. Look at the guys that they got rid of. Julius Randle has turned himself into a really good player.
6-man potential.
Yeah.
Award winner.
In New Orleans.
Right.
And then
D'Angelo Russell, going to be an all-star.
He was an all-star.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you have yet in these young players. And I've said this before, and I hate to say this, but when you get LeBron around young players, he dominates the ball so much, it's hard. It hurts their development a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it's been like that for LeBron over the course of his career. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to take the time, put in the effort to work with these young guys.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's necessarily his job.
No, definitely not his job.
But he's not going to bring guys along. He needs veterans that have No, I'm not saying 10-year vets, but he needs guys that are established
Right.
to win.
And
he's looking to win championships, or at least he was.
Right.
Before that, quote.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That I said at the beginning of the show. But
knowing damn well. I'm going to call right now, episode 4, CC TitleTown. I bet LeBron doesn't win another championship as long as he stays in LA.
No question. And, yeah.
Doesn't matter who they sign, doesn't matter who they trade for, who they get.
Well,
I'm calling it.
They're not going to. I'll save this for later, but I'll just say it now. I don't think they're going to be able to get any big-time free agents.
No. I think they're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
But can we just put it on the record? I mean, we don't hate LeBron.
Absolutely not. The dude, let's congratulate him.
Let's say something positive for,
Let's congratulate him for last night, breaking, Michael Jordan's, moving past Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list.
Unbelievable.
That is an unbelievable accomplishment.
Jinx.
Yeah. He is now number 4 on the scoring list. And, earlier this year he moved into 10th, I believe, in all-time assists.
Yeah, I think so.
So he is a incredible player.
On and off the court.
Yeah.
Absolutely respectable man. He does everything the right way.
And, yeah, that's the great thing about him off the court. He does so much.
There's nothing anybody can say about him as a person. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. So great player, great guy.
And we just want to get that out there because we have some fans, some listeners that seem to think that we are so anti-LeBron and that,
man,
we just, throw dirt on him all the time. And that's not the case. We don't want people to think that.
We just present the facts as they are given.
Right.
And on those facts, we form our opinion. And that's the opinion of most people in the world that pay attention to basketball.
Right.
Absolutely. So that's where we are on that.
So congratulations to LeBron again.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, back to what we were talking about. A lot of that too with the roster tweaking and the Lance Stevenson, the JaVale McGee. A lot of that goes to Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
And when I have my own take on Magic Johnson and the things he's done with the organization, and I feel like he's handled a lot of things the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the one of the players that they did trade, the big center, I think his name was Ivica Zubic.
Yeah.
Their best free throw shooter at the time. A 21-year-old, I think 7-foot center, tons of potential.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of the young guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they traded him to the Clippers for Reggie Bullock, and that was it.
You got to be kidding me.
Reggie Bullock.
You
a
gotta
21-year-old, their best free throw shooter.
7-footer.
And I think they're in the bottom 5 of the league. 4th worst free throw shooting team now.
They might almost be. They might be all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, they're down there.
They're at lowest tier of free throw shooting. They don't play any defense. So let me ask you this then. Would you say that Magic is mostly to blame for this situation in LA right now?
If I had to put the blame on one person, it would be Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that drafted Lonzo Ball. He was in the organization when they chose him 2nd overall.
Yeah. Okay.
Now they're just, if you're going to draft someone 2nd overall and in 2 years decide to trade him.
Think about trading him?
Yeah. Essentially he's on the block.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to look to move him this offseason.
Yeah.
If they have to package him for Anthony Davis, they're going to. They've already made that, wide open.
Yeah.
They did the trade, what I just talked about. And excuse me, Reggie Bullock was in the trade, but also Mike Muscala was in that trade.
Yeah.
I forgot about Mike Muscala, who, I feel like I could beat him one-on-one. He's a scrub. Obviously, I can't beat him, but he's a scrub.
Yeah.
And I think Magic is just making the wrong decisions. The way I look at it, tell me how you feel just on this specific. Do you think he's trying to win, or he's trying to please LeBron?
How would he be pleasing LeBron if they're not winning.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
So what do you mean by that question?
So, like, do you think okay, let me rephrase it. The decisions, the offers that they made at the trade deadline for Anthony Davis, were those offers in the best interest of the Lakers organization, or were they in the best interest for LeBron? Does that make more sense?
I see what you're saying. Long term,
because
I'm not sure, because you'll have Anthony Davis for quite a while if he signs.
Right, he'd have to resign,
which he probably would, because LA is where he wants to be.
I think so too.
But LeBron's only there another 3 years.
Exactly.
I mean, and these young cats
they'll be gone if they get Anthony Davis, because they'll be traded.
Right, but I'm saying, like, if they weren't to trade for Anthony Davis,
right,
so then all you got is Anthony Davis,
right,
and old LeBron,
right.
LeBron's
days are numbered.
2 to 3 years.
His seasons are numbered.
Yeah,
Magic's here for the long haul.
Yeah,
So
I just
know what I mean.
I don't. He wanted to be able to win a championship within LeBron's time frame, so that he's going to be with the Lakers. So I think obviously winning a championship is good for the organization.
Right.
But anything past 5 years, I don't know. I think he was willing to win, kind of a win now mentality,
right, and
please LeBron, and whatever for his legacy. Obviously, it's helping the Lakers too, but
kind of like a best of both worlds thing.
Yeah,
I guess you're right. He's probably not thinking past 3-4 years at this point.
Yep,
they're not in any type of rebuild situation, obviously.
Right,
but I still don't. I still would not give up my whole farm system, as the MLB would call it,
basically,
for
Anthony
Davis.
That's a lot of players that and draft picks they were willing to give up. So
it'd be the whole 3-year future of LeBron's career in LA gone.
Yeah,
as far as draft picks, money. They're not gonna have much money after they would extend Anthony Davis. They would do the same thing they did with every other LeBron team. You get a Mike Miller on the veteran minimum deal. They get a Channing Frye. They get a Richard Jefferson. They get hopefully a bunch of guys who can knock down some open threes.
Yeah, and
that's it.
Yeah, spread the floor a little bit.
Like we talked about earlier, LeBron doesn't want to take the time, the effort to not help the young guys, be better, but like we said, he's on a time schedule. He doesn't have time to wait 2 more years to let these guys maybe be all-star or good role players.
Yeah, and that's not his fault. He's trying to win, supposedly trying to win.
He's got to do what he's got to do.
Yeah.
In a perfect example, look at the Andrew Wiggins thing. They traded the number 1 overall pick as a rookie.
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins.
Before he even played a real regular season game.
I think he played like a couple summer league games.
Yeah.
And they traded him for Kevin Love.
Yeah. I know. They want a championship out of it, so
yeah.
Whatever. But Anthony Wiggins, look where the Cavs are now.
Right. And look what he could have turned into, something so much better.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, so that's a tough. Let me explain to you who I think is to blame in this whole Lakers debacle. Obviously, Magic. I would put some blame on Magic. Not all the blame, though.
Not as heavy as I would.
No. LeBron is not blameless in this situation.
Hell no.
Because he knew what he was getting himself into, for one. He saw the roster before he went there and signed with LA.
Well, yeah. Remember what he talked about with Magic? He went there and broke down everything, everybody on the team, what Kuzma's good at, where he likes the ball, what he likes to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So he went real in depth.
Yeah, he knew the roster.
Yeah. He was basically playing GM in a way.
Right.
And he has been for a while now on his team. So you got to put some blame on him, and his on the court, don't get me wrong, his stats this year still great.
Yeah.
It's still LeBron stats.
Right.
But
there's not a leadership stat.
The intangible.
Right.
This has been his thing his entire career pretty much.
Right.
The leadership, the throwing the arms up in the air, like when somebody misses a defensive assignment, and sometimes it's his assignment.
I'm so glad Kuzma pushed him into guarding.
Oh man, me too.
That's one of the best things I've ever seen.
I was like, look, man,
bro, props to Kuzma.
Yeah. Hey, play defense.
Right, get your head out of your ass.
Like, so that's and look, these young guys, all these guys on the team are looking to LeBron.
Yeah.
Or at least they were
looking to him
looking to him as the leader,
right?
Because he's
absolutely.
LeBron. He's LeBron James,
right?
What do you expect,
right,
from these guys? So of course they're gonna look to him, and then they see him. Oh, somebody gets beat and he's crying. He's throwing his hands up in the air, like that body language. I'm sorry, like leaders don't do that,
right?
They don't show up their teammates. They don't go to the media and talk about their teammates like that,
right? Because he's called his teammates out multiple times.
Multiple times.
Right
after the trade deadline.
Yeah.
I think, pretty sure, I don't know, during the trade deadline.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm sure. And I think one of it was where it's some people on the team, if they're not built for this, they need to just come out and say it.
Right. Come on, man.
Bro. You're barely about to have a good record as they did last year without you. So
right.
Come on.
So you got to put some blame on him.
Yeah.
I think you got to put a little bit of blame on Luke Walton.
Mm-hmm.
I know you may not feel that same way because he's working with what he's got, but
right.
He's
and what he's got is LeBron.
Yeah,
a lot of people would say.
Hey,
not how I feel. I'll tell you how I feel in a little bit, but that a lot of people would say that.
Yeah.
What else does he need? He's got the best player in the world.
Right. That's a good point.
How hard it is to coach the best player in the world when it's LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's tough. But he's to blame too a little bit. It's his job to put the right defensive rotations out there.
Right.
They're one of the worst defensive teams in the league.
Right.
A lot of that comes down to effort, but I mean, he's lost his team.
Yeah.
Whether it's his fault or not, he's the head coach. You got to take control of your team.
Right. Unfortunately, those things always come down on the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because it's a player. It is a player-driven league, unless you're Popovich or
exactly
one of the all-time great coaches.
Right. Exactly, and that's just unfortunate for Luke Walton.
Yeah.
And like we talked about earlier, the reason I don't think it's Luke Walton's fault, and I could be totally wrong, but I think Luke Walton was gone after this season, regardless of where they finished.
Yeah.
They would have almost had to take it to the Western Finals and taken the Warriors deep into a playoff round for him to stay. But I think he's gone. He was there before Magic. He was there before LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted they wanted to see, as in the rest of the NBA. Okay, let's get Luke Walton a good year, get him a good reputation, have another team sign him.
Yeah.
He didn't have a chance from the beginning of the season. They were going to let him go, regardless of how they did this season, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's not feeling that way. He wasn't coming in the season like,
oh man, they're gonna get rid of me.
Yeah. But in my perspective, it didn't matter how they did. He was gone no matter what.
Yeah.
They're gonna try and get a guy in there that's a very coach-friendly coach, someone LeBron can essentially talk over, kind of do what he wants, because that's what he does.
A player-friendly coach.
Yeah, that's what LeBron does.
Yeah.
He's the coach. He's the GM. That's it, and it's the truth.
Yeah, you're right.
You can't tell me there's a coach he hasn't done that to.
Right.
Yeah, sure. There's
Coach K in the Olympics. That's about it.
That
probably.
Literally is about it.
Yeah.
But that's just how he is.
Mm-hmm.
And you could say he deserves it. He could do what he wants. That's fine. But it doesn't matter because, like I said, Luke Walton will be fired at some point this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
They will bring in a coach that is a player-friendly coach.
Yeah.
Relates to all the players to kind of, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
The coach, whatever coach comes in, whatever coach LeBron has ever been, has ever coached LeBron in the pros, why do you think Ty Lue was an assistant when he took over? Mm-hmm. Why? Because assistant would always talk to the players, the role players, the young players, like, hey, just focus. Try not to worry about Hollywood, LeBron. Just focus on your game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And Ty Lue was a player himself,
right.
So he understands.
So he knew exactly. So, they need somebody who's going to be able to almost help the young players.
Yeah,
help. Not they don't have to be young. Just help the rest of the team understand, like, you know, we need you to do your job and not focus on the outside, you know, going on. Where Luke Walton, he doesn't seem like a coach that's going to take too much shit.
Yeah.
But since LeBron's on his team, he kind of has to.
Right.
You
The shenanigans and stuff.
Right.
Not the shenanigans, but just everything that comes with the media and everything that comes with being a member of a team that LeBron's on.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That I just don't think Luke Walton has too much to blame.
And
I hate that the coaches get such bad raps because the players got to go play.
Right. Yeah. At the end of the day, the coaches aren't out there playing.
Especially in the game of basketball, where a lot of the game is one-on-one now.
Yeah.
Like, defenses is a lot of one-on-one, like simple help defense, simple switches. Like, all you got to know is, okay, if so-and-so's got the ball, this is where our switch is. This is where our rotation needs to be. And, I mean, that's it. The players just got to go do it.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and a lot of the reason that the Lakers are so poor defensively is because of their lack of effort.
Yeah. I mean.
Really.
Right. And Lonzo Ball was the key to their defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
He got it started for sure.
But so that's how I feel about Luke, and like I said, he'll get another job somewhere, but the Lakers were hoping they'd have a better season to get him a better opportunity because they were going to let him go regardless, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's at least if that's what it is, at least they did him a service.
Right. Give him a chance
in that regard.
You know.
Yeah. So obviously you don't see Luke Walton in the next 3 years of LeBron's time in LA.
Yeah. No, not even.
What are
6
those?
months.
So I don't know. What does the rest of LeBron's time with the Lakers look like then? Are they gonna make any deep playoff runs, any championships, or
it's
any big time free agents coming?
They will not be.
I mean, we already clearly established the championship.
I don't even think they will make it to a championship again. I don't.
Wow.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
I don't. I foresee them definitely at some point they will make a run in the playoffs. You know, they may get to the Western Conference Finals a couple times. I don't think it'll be next year. But I do think at some point they have to, if they're not going to invest in the young people they have, which they've already basically said they're not going to.
Yeah.
You know,
because they want Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they don't get Anthony Davis, they're going to want somebody else, and the list will go on and on. But it sucks for them because they already showed all their cards at the trade deadline, and the Pelicans know the best offer they can get, and if that's the best offer they can get in a few months in the off season, then they'll take it. But at some point, they're going to get another superstar, whether it be Anthony Davis via trade, whether it be Klay Thompson in the off season. I personally think Klay Thompson would be a better fit with the Lakers than Anthony Davis.
I could see
the Lakers are like the third worst 3-point shooting team in the league.
Yeah.
LeBron's not going to get any better at shooting.
Yeah.
So
Klay
Klay's
Thompson,
the second best shooter in the league, as well as top 5 two-way player in the league.
Yeah.
You know, so he's got a lot. You know, he brings a lot to the table. Don't get me wrong, Anthony Davis is a beast. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's an offensive-driven league.
Okay.
Anthony Davis obviously is a paint protector, you know, but he's not out there on the perimeter blocking 3-point shots or guarding dribblers.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
but he would help their defense. As
well.
Tremendously.
Yeah. And they need help on defense.
Yeah.
A lot of help.
Clearly.
I mean, they need a lot of things.
Yeah.
But, so, yes, I do think that they will eventually land somebody that's a max contract player to help LeBron in the next 3 years. I still don't see them getting to the finals again. But, you know, they will make it seem like they will. You know what I mean? They'll have the all-stars on the team, you know, the players that, you know, that look good, but if they go up against the Warriors, obviously there's no shot. I honestly, I mean, what do you think?
It's going to depend on what the Warriors do, though.
Yeah.
Because if KD leaves,
right,
then they look a little bit more mortal.
Yeah, absolutely.
now.
And those guys are
At
getting
that
older
point.
too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, they're not old by any means.
No,
but yeah,
but-
they are getting up. They're starting to
right,
be in the middle of their careers.
right.
My question is if Clay leaves, why would he still want to play second fiddle to LeBron when he's got Steph?
Two other fiddles.
And that maybe opens up, that opens up more shots for him in Golden State
if
as it is.
If Kevin Durant were to leave,
So I'm sorry. Yeah, let me backtrack. If KD leaves,
this summer,
yep,
right,
and Steph is obviously he's still there,
right,
and Clay's a free agent. Why would Clay want to go to LA,
right,
and play with LeBron when he can still be in Golden State and get more shots?
right. Yeah,
with Steph, a system who he already knows everything. He already knows everything about Golden State.
right,
And he's won championships there.
right,
Why would he wanna leave?
right. Well,
And go to LA is what I'm saying.
Right.
I don't see why he would want to go there.
so you think he'd want to find a team where he'd essentially be the guy?
Either that or stay where he's at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're right. I don't see him going too many places, and obviously the best place would be probably to stay
Yeah.
with the Warriors.
Because he's taking a big chance of never winning a championship again if he goes to LA
Right.
at this point.
Yeah.
Unless it's with the other
But
LA.
think about it this way too.
Okay.
KD does go to New York with Kyrie, Jimmy Butler, whoever joins him there. Okay, now it's Steph, Clay, Draymond. Clay goes to the Lakers with LeBron. That leaves Steph and Draymond, who very highly overrated to me.
Draymond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that leaves Steph and Draymond.
You don't think the Warriors are going to go after somebody?
Who are they going to get? Nobody of those two caliber players. They're not going to get a Clay or a Kevin Durant.
You don't think Kawhi would come back to the Western Conference? No.
Nope. Because he's
Okay.
going to try and do what LeBron did and have a
Run the
cakewalk.
East.
Yep.
Yeah, run the East.
Yep. Give it some time.
I tell you what, he's not going to have a cakewalk with Giannis there, though.
No, he's not. But he's definitely not going to the LA when everybody thought he was.
I can see that.
So
There's a lot of moving parts.
that just opens the West up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts this offseason. But then you got to look at OKC.
Yeah, they're no slouch team.
If they get one more shooter,
Bro, I love that team, honestly.
man, and they play defense.
Right.
Man.
Steven Adams is so underrated.
Oh, dude, he's an anchor.
Bro, so underrated. And I like their chances. I still find it hard to take anybody over the Warriors.
No, at this point, I was talking about them for maybe next year.
Right.
And in years after that.
In the future. Yeah, no, because both of them are there. Steven Adams will be there, and they'll just build around those guys. And I think that would be absolutely awesome to see them. If they could win a championship in OKC,
man, that'd be sweet. I'd be happy for Russ, man.
Me too. He takes a lot of backlash.
Man, he does. And I don't want to say he deserves a championship, but he plays so hard
he
all
puts
the
his
time.
heart out there.
Yeah.
I agree.
I love Russ, watching him play, man.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was
So you don't see the Lakers this offseason? Do you see them making a splash? They're going to try.
They're going to try.
They're going to continue to try, obviously. But
I just don't know that they're going to get a top tier free agent.
Right, because you're thinking you're looking at looking at this season, how everything panned out.
Why would you want to join that circus?
Right. No,
and play, because anytime anybody that plays with LeBron is the second star.
Right. Doesn't matter.
It's LeBron James. He's
right.
one of the all-time greats.
Right.
Kawhi's not going to want to go there. KD has already basically said he's not going to go to LA.
Right.
Not to that LA team.
Right.
Kyrie maybe.
Yeah, there's been rumors
back
what if Kyrie went back to LA?
I don't know though.
They're out in the second round. That's what would happen.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think they may get a guy like Jimmy Butler.
Oh, okay.
Like a second tier.
Right.
Or there's talks of Chris Middleton. We mentioned his name earlier.
We talked to him earlier.
He would help.
Yeah.
Defensively and their shooting.
Right, and luckily, you wouldn't have to pay those guys max money.
Right.
But those guys, also aren't going.
They're
That's not going to be a championship team.
They're not going to put LA over the edge because the Rockets and OKC. Let's say the Warriors break up.
Right.
You still got the Rockets and OKC.
Right.
And an up and coming Nuggets
Denver
team.
is no joke.
Man.
Right.
So that's just a tough. It's still going to be tough for him.
Yeah, LeBron's going to have the hardest time of his career these next 3 years.
And again,
it'll be nothing like it was in the past in the East.
Like we said, like we started the podcast with today. He's already come out and said that he has nothing left to prove. Anything else is just icing on the cake. That right there to me tells me that he is okay with not winning another championship.
Right. Well, we better be okay with it because
it's not going to happen. So I don't know what else.
Yeah, like
needs to be said.
Well, then, and if that's how he truly feels, he shouldn't be so butthurt, about with everything.
Right. Right.
Like he needs to relax a little bit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
if that's how he truly feels, right? Like, you're telling me right now, if your career ends the way Kobe's did with, say they don't make the playoffs next season again. Say they get Anthony Davis and they don't make the playoffs again.
Say they don't get Anthony Davis?
Say they do get Anthony Davis and they don't make the playoffs.
Oh, in a trade, yeah, because it would just be LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and then you'll have another, JaVale McGee and a Rondo guy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how does that look on LeBron then? You know what I mean?
Not good. Not good.
Or even a 7th seed first-round exit.
Right.
Anything short from, a conference finals, just... It's bad.
It's a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, their expectations are so high, and they were set so high at the beginning of the season that anything short of that is literally
Yeah, I don't know about so much for this season. I think some people had unrealistic expectations, and that's why we're seeing part of why we're seeing what we're seing now with the drama and everything.
Right. Wow. Everything. Yeah.
But at the same time, they're not even gonna make the playoffs, so
they might not even have a better record than they did last year.
Right, exactly. So that's something to be looked at too.
Right, and I mean, people will say obviously, don't get me wrong, LeBron is LeBron.
Yeah,
I don't see him statistically falling off too much in next year.
Not too much. No.
But I don't think just because they have an Anthony Davis means they're gonna be a 55-win team, 4th seed in the West.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I
agree.
And I don't know, I feel like the way LeBron presents himself to these young players, he would never act like that at Anthony Davis if Anthony Davis made a mistake on defense.
Right. He's not going to come out to the media and start trash talking.
No.
His teammates, basically.
No.
So
that he can make the same exact mistake and he wouldn't do it.
Right.
So what does that show you?
The respect level is not there.
Right.
And that's fine.
Right.
I understand, but you came here, man. You wanted to come to LA.
You
wanted to come to LA and start shooting Space Jam 2 and doing all this stuff. Don't even get me started on that.
Right. Your HBO show.
Oh my gosh.
Don't nobody watch.
Oh man, I'm done because I'm gonna get too heated about it.
No, I mean I get it. That's what Hollywood's for. That's
a great move post basketball.
Yeah, 50% of the reason you came out here.
That's a great move. Who wouldn't want to live in LA if they could?
Right. I mean, he's got a long future after basketball.
He's gonna be he's a mogul. He's gonna be. His business enterprises are going to be, he's going to be doing that. He's going to be doing movies probably.
Right.
All that. He's set up for the rest of his life.
Right.
So that's a great move to go to LA for that. But for basketball, if that's what we're talking about here,
right.
Questionable.
Right. It's hard. I mean, yeah, no, I think missing the playoffs this season, like you said, isn't going to tarnish too much of his legacy.
No.
But it tarnishes it. People will remember.
It certainly does not help.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a positive by any means.
Yeah. See, I don't want to say it will it's the slightest blemish. It's another blemish on his legacy.
Right.
The one other one that stands out to me is the debacle against the Mavericks in the finals, first finals with the Heat.
Right.
But this one, obviously not quite as big a stage.
Right.
They're not even making the playoffs.
No, God, no.
There's no way it can help his legacy. And any LeBron fan, if you want to, you can give all the excuses in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But your guy LeBron James did not make the playoffs.
Right.
Will not make the playoffs this year.
Right. Don't worry. It'll be somebody else's fault.
Yeah, it always is. It seems like is. Never LeBron's fault.
Does it?
He gets all of the love and none of the hate.
Yeah.
At times.
Well, and people will forget that they didn't make the playoffs until next year when it's the All-Star break, and everyone will bring up what happened last year. And if they're struggling again, people will definitely remember what happened last year at this time.
If they're struggling again, man, it is going to be Lakers fans are going to be.
They're already booing him.
I mean, they already
they boo him every game.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah,
it could get crazy in the next year in Los Angeles if they don't turn things around drastically.
What I'm excited to see if he is going after Kobe's record next year.
Point record?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he's next.
Well, I just saw today. Big Bulls guy Brian Scalabrine was on Colin Cowherd's, and he was saying how, like, did you see the clip where LeBron was like, getting emotional on the bench, like had the towel? Yeah. He was saying how, like, in that moment, that exact moment right there, that he was thinking almost that he might have regretted coming to LA, because, like, not after, like, obviously now, like, he's totally, like, super, like, he's still talking about it, he's still tweeting about it, he's still posting on Instagram about it, like, super congrats to him. But, like, imagine if he was at Cleveland in front of his home crowd, probably winning by 20, not losing by 20, getting essentially, he's been getting booed by the crowds.
Yeah.
He's getting blown out by the Denver Nuggets. He's out of the playoffs. His first year in Los Angeles.
Man.
Like, as special as that moment was, there had to be a thought in his head, like, hopefully I didn't, make a mistake coming here.
Yeah, man, and that's a great,
like,
that's a great question. That a great theory.
And that, like I said, that was Brian Scalabrine. That's not saying that's how I feel, but that he's like, obviously after the game, he didn't think about it like that at all. But in that moment,
so
when he was on the bench,
he
was on the bench, and he was getting emotional. Like, think about it. Nobody wants to break a Michael Jordan's record like that, down 20. 6 games out of the playoffs. Like, I mean, it happens. Like, records are broken late in careers. But, like, for the expectations that they had.
But this is like LeBron.
Right, it's
MJ
different.
Here.
It's
like,
different
level
standards for these players.
Yep.
So, like, I was like, dang, I never thought about it like that. But, like,
that's a interesting take on that.
Right. So, I don't know. Like you said, I don't think this season tarnishes his legacy, but it could get ugly in LA very soon.
It'll be interesting to see what happens next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this offseason, man, everybody's gonna be glued
it's gonna be
to
a show.
July 1st.
It's not even gonna be just the Lakers either. It's
everywhere.
Like you said, the Knicks are supposed to be a hot city as they always are, but
why would? Just real quick, why would Kyrie and KD want to go there when they're the softest guys and dealing with the media?
This is true. Maybe because they can work together. They can do it together. No. I mean,
as Stephen A. Smith puts it, Cottonelle soft.
Right.
That's how soft those dudes are when it comes to dealing with the media. Basketball players are great, but
as players, yeah. I don't know. That's just what people are predicting. So
we'll see, man.
I mean, it put the Knicks back in contention with. I think they're going to land the top 3 picks. So
yeah, man. If they got Zion, add Zion to that.
That's what they were saying. Imagine Zion, Kyrie, Kevin Durant.
That's nice.
Dennis Smith Jr. But you never know. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be it'll be a wild off season. This will probably be one of the craziest off seasons. Last year was crazy because LeBron went to the Lakers, but other than that, it was kind of.
Yeah, now this is when all the big free agents are hitting the market. So
I think it's gonna be pretty crazy.
Can't wait, man.
I cannot
wait.
But I think that's a wrap from CC Titletown, episode 4, March 7th. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'm excited to Cam to send you guys off.
All right. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, share. You can find us on Google Play and iTunes and our YouTube channel as well. All 3 places. It is CC:Titletown. We'll check you guys next week.
Peace.